Okay guys, welcome to another review, UK review guy. This time it is the Leatherman Wave. Okay, so loads of videos out there on this. This is just my take. I've had this 3 or 4 years maybe. Got it second hand off one of the few websites in the UK that allow knife sales or multi-tool sales, knife being probably the more problematic thing in the UK. Obviously being the UK, it's a locking blade, so that instantly limits you on where you can carry it without sort of a valid reason to. I used to use this in one job I've had, and not any longer there, but and I carry this every day with it with me, and it gets you out of trouble. You've got the option. I'll run through the tools, but there's loads of videos out there on there. You've got the knife blade. Steel's all right. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It takes an edge quite well, to be fair. I'm not the world's best sharpener in the world, but it certainly takes an edge. And it holds it all right. It depends what you use it for. I used to give it a fair bit of stick, as you can probably see by the condition of it. And you didn't have to sharpen it every day or every week or something. You get away with, I don't know, once every couple of months, and just when you know it's no longer getting usable. Locks up well. Slight downside is where your thumb is to unlock the blade. You kind of end up catching there sometimes, and obviously you've got to make sure your hands are well out of the way before you close it up. Opens one-handed though, which is a nice feature, which sometimes really helps you if you've already tied one hand up and you need to cut something quick. On the opposite to that, on the this side, we've got a file with I think it's a diamond piece this side. It's obviously a smoother surface that side, and a more coarse one on this side. Again, just handy to have with you. Didn't really use it that much, I wouldn't say. Again, this is the flat blade again, so opposite to the flat blade, we've got a saw blade. Pretty good, to be honest. You can either hack through stuff or cut small bits of wood or whatever you need to do with it. But yeah, it works pretty well. It cuts pretty well. I've used it, not loads, but I've used it a fair amount, and it still cuts all right. Whether you'd be able to use it all day, every day for cutting stuff, I don't know, but it's not designed for that. So, and then on the other side of the saw, we've got a serrated knife blade. Again, that's the one-handed opener, which is nice. That one opens nice and easy. I've used this quite a bit when it's a bit more where you need to put a bit more force of throws, or you need that serrated blade. But it's nice having the option of the flat blade or the serrated blade just on either side. Obviously, assuming really designed for right-handed people, flip it over and you've got the right one. Nice. What I would like really better is if there was an indication as to which is which, without having to, I found tending to know what that one. So if they had a different logo here to here, it'd be nice. Then you got that you know straight away then which side you were looking at. Just a small criticism, I suppose. On the inside, you've obviously got the main tool itself. All right for small stuff. If you need to put a lot of force on it, ain't great. You can't really get anything that's locked up tight, I suppose. You need a spanner or something, but it's all right. It does the job for little bits and bobs. And you've got the grips on the inside, needle nose pliers. They're all right because they close right up. Not loads of play in them either, not slack or sloppy or anything. And you can get tweezers out, even get tweezers out if you're careful enough with them. Your eyes are good enough. Got the wire cutters there, strippers. Used them a couple of times, not great to be honest. They do the job, but yeah, it's okay, just about all right. Other tools then, again these ones you have to dig out, so not a massive pain, but it's not the easiest to get to if you're in a rush or you've got oily hands or whatever. Bottle opener, can opener type thing. That's a wire stripper there. I've never used that. Don't reckon I ever probably will, to be honest. A little screwdriver here. That's a lot more usable. That's quite handy. That. It's a shame one of these isn't on the outside tool, because it tends to be one that you do tend to use quite a bit. Or I did anyway, and it'd be nice if that was on the outside. That's interchangeable, so you've got the flathead and the Phillips. only downside to that is when you're using it this way, you throw in the tools off centre if you like to keep the screw set. You're going out to come back in again. Also, it's a bit of a funny grip that I personally tended to close one side over and try to use it that way, which gives you a lot more purchase, and you can certainly get into to do the job a lot better. Yeah, it's a very handy little thing. That shame it's just not on the outside. On the opposite side to that, we have a little pair of scissors. They're all right. Piece of paper. Certainly sharp enough for cutting little bits, but they're not the best in the world. But they serve a purpose and they do the job. Obviously, all these inside tools, lock up with a little push button there, which is nice and easy to get back in. Other tools on this side is your tiny little, I suppose, glassy screwdriver, or a little tiny little screwdriver for getting in smaller bits. I think glass is the only thing I can think of I probably ever use it for, and never used it for that. That's also reversible with a flathead and a Phillips. Just pops back in there, if you will. No, perfect. Again, never really used that much. This side seems to be harder to get stuff out because there is more stuff in there. And also this one is quite a good tool as well. Sort of larger flathead screwdriver. Tend to use more of that as a jimmying bar really for opening tins of paint, or I suppose tins of paint cans, or a bit of a pry bar. You get a bit of leverage. You couldn't go massively mega on it, but you can certainly use it for little bits and bobs and prying stuff apart. Criticism I've had a couple of times with this, I think there is someone else out there on YouTube that have mentioned it, is that the way the tool closes up, if you imagine this is the side I'm using closest to my hands, it goes right together here, and if you've got your hands underneath it and you're forcing it, you will pinch yourself in here. I've done it a couple of times, even though you know it's gonna happen, you forget about it, and then you end up locking something up tight. You've got it in your hand tight, and I don't know if you can see on the camera there, but that's pinching under my hand. And if you slips off and catch it, then you certainly know about it because you get the mark to prove it. But on the whole, it's a good little tool. Weight wise, it's not the lightest thing in the world. You've got it in your pocket, definitely. I wouldn't carry it in my pocket. I know you can get a pocket clip and have it in your pocket, but I didn't. I tended to use the sheath that it comes with, the leather sheath. I think nowadays it's a nylon one and not quite as good. Maybe you can still get the leather one. It's handy because the strap can go on your belt this way or this way. Now I used to put it that way personally, and it sort of sit on your hip this way. Much less intrusive and a lot less noticeable. Obviously it's a bit battered and worn, but it still certainly does the job. Nice little pouch for it really. Size wise, there's an iPhone charger, gives you an indication, twice as long as it. Width wise, it's not far off, about the same width to be honest as the iPhone charger, so that gives you an indication of how wide it is, the plastic part of the iPhone charger. Yeah, it's good tool. So the blade that you get with it, there we go, you see that's what I was saying about before. The blade you get with it's nice. I always try and keep it relatively sharp. So it's not the best steel out there nowadays. There's blades with the C2. I think you can get one of these now with the S30V on it, and I think it's Leatherman Charge, I think it is, which is basically the same. Obviously, I think there's another little difference on it, but ultimately it's the same thing. And probably about double the price, I think, or another 50-60 quid more. If you want that for the extra steel on the knife, if that's what you need, then yeah, it's probably all right. But I can't see how you can go wrong with this for what the price starts, especially if you can pick a second-hand one up. But overall, cracking little tool. I've used mine loads. I tend to keep it now at home really. It just lives in the cupboard, and if you just need to grab a screwdriver, or you need to grab a knife or a scraper or a little pry bar or something, it's it's all in one. It saves you going out to the garage rummaging for the exact tool you need. It certainly doesn't replace the exact tool you need for every single tool, that's for sure. I'll say that there's times when you need the tool you need. If you need a screwdriver for certain jobs, then you have to have a screwdriver and with the pliers, etc., etc. But most situations it'll help you out if you need a quick fix, which is I suppose exactly what it's designed for. So yeah, that's just my take on the Leatherman Wave. Cracking little tool, and there's a reason why it's probably so popular across the world, I would imagine. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep a look out for some more videos.